It seems that 2019 is not going to be a good year for leftist media. Since the beginning of 2019, as many as 2,100 writers, editors, and other workers have lost their jobs in the past 2 weeks. On February 1st, it has been reported that Vice would be laying off 10% of its staff, which is approximately 250 workers, as part of reorganization effort. Later the same day, it's been reported that McClatchy, which operates newspapers across the country, had offered voluntary buyouts to 450 workers. This is just 1 week after Verizon, owner of Huffington Post, Yahoo News, and AOL, laid off 7% of its staff. BuzzFeed also cut 15% of its workforce, decimating entire verticals, and the Janet Company, which owns more than 1,000 daily and weekly newspapers across the country, eliminated approximately 400 jobs. When you look at it in total, 2,100 employees, or possibly even more, have lost their jobs in the past 2 weeks. Something really amazing. Also, Vice is currently in the process of laying off 250 workers, most of whom will walk away with paid out time off and severance, thanks to their union contract with the Writers Guild of America East. Huffington Post, which is also organized with WGAE, cut approximately 20 employees. And at BuzzFeed News, more than 200 people were laid off over a number of work days. We can look at some of the tweets from fired journalists. While the company's reasonings behind mass layoffs aren't identical, there is a common thread. The cuts have less to do with the talent of the workers and more to do with financial imperatives and the whims of investors. THR reports that Nancy DeBuch, CEO at Vice, seeks to decrease spending and increase profitability. Huffington Post spokesperson told CNN that the site is investing its talents and resources to areas that have high audience engagement, differentiation, and are poised for growth at a time when our mission means more than ever. And according to BuzzFeed CEO John Peretti, who reportedly suggests that employees bring dogs to work on Monday as a means of raising morale, BuzzFeed is restructuring to focus on the content that is working and achieve the right cost structure to resupport our multi-revenue model. There is also speculation that BuzzFeed is preparing for a sale or merger. But employees are skeptical of these explanations, and many are laying the blame on Facebook and Google, which monopolize the digital ad growth, as well as poor decisions on the management level. This isn't happening because of market inefficiencies or consumer preferences or social value, Huffington Post senior reporter Zach Carter tweeted. It's happening because 2 very large companies have taken the advertising revenue that journalism outlets rely on and replaced it with nothing. Also, a lot of people are starting to troll these fired journalists by tweeting to them that they should learn to code, and Twitter is starting to crack down on this. The sarcastic reply was a reference to a number of articles written by publications which derided blue-collar workers who fear that they may lose their jobs as a result of automation and artificial intelligence. At the time of writing, journalists encouraged these workers to learn to code, as that is seemingly where the future of employment lies. Now, Twitter is ruled telling journalists to code is targeted harassment. A Twitter spokesperson stated that the situation was nuanced, but that telling laid-off journalists to learn to code should be considered targeted harassment. The spokesperson told Breitbart News it's more nuanced than what was initially reported. Twitter is responding to a targeted harassment campaign against specific individuals, a policy that's been long against the Twitter rules. Interestingly, Twitter does not consider the repeated calls of violence against the students of Covington Catholic High School to be targeted harassment.